Concludes my preliminary instructions, and now we are ready for the lawyers to offer you opening statements. On behalf of the state, is there a desire to offer this jury an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the floor to do so at this time, Ms. Winfrey.
This is Earnelle Winfrey.
You're welcome.
Sigh of relief that it's not Adrian Love. Sorry to disappoint you or excite you, Danny.
Promises.
But good to see you.
Promises of love. Promises of safety. Promises of a better life. Promises to level up. Promises to lay your head down in a safe place. Promises, promises, promises. You will learn that there were promises given in this case. They were cloaked in profit, cloaked in greed. In their arrogance, predators target the weak who are caught in the schemes they devise. Their eyes watch in secret for their victims, like
here we go.
Hidden in rocks. They eyes watch in secret for their victims, like rattlesnakes hidden in rocks.
Drop some snake emojis in the chat. They just have to work in a wildlife reference in these opening statements. I don't know if it's just when love is present that it has to be done, or what kind of like secret inside joke this is. But this is what I saw when I opened the stream earlier, right before I started my other stream. That's the line I heard, and I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh.
They lie in wait seeking to devour. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that is what this case is about.
About rattlesnakes.
This case is about these defendants. These defendants who built a proverbial house, if you will, a business on the backs of young women. Through the lure of their leaders' notoriety. Good afternoon, my name is Earnelle Winfrey, as I stated earlier. I, along with my co-counsel, Chief Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love, Deputy District Attorney Grant Blue, represent the state of Georgia. First, I want to thank you for your patience during the arduous task of jury selection, and I thank you in advance for your service today. As you see the evidence unfold in this case, you may see witnesses that may not be in chronological order. Don't be alarmed. Just stay with us to the very end. It'll all make sense.
We've tried that before.
Players. John Michael HAKEEM GIBSON, also known as Cash Out. You will learn that he is the leader of this organization. You heard the word enterprise. It's just a group of people doing criminal acts for money in this case. You will learn that he's the one who set up plays and dates through cell phones, who lured girls in through his notoriety, who promised love and other things to get them to comply, who then turned coercive toward the end. Linda Smith, also known as Morenika Vinnie, also known as Mama Cash Out. You will learn that she is the mother of John Michael Gibson. And you will also learn all of her involvement, even including being a manager of sorts, even making clothes for girls to wear as they sold themselves. Tyrone Taylor, also known as Brewski, you will learn that he is a cousin of Cash Out, John Gibson, and you will learn of his involvement. He was like a recruiter. You'll learn that he was trying to be close to someone who's famous to be somebody. You'll learn that he got involved with a young girl he never even knew before, with a promise of a safe place for her to lay her head. And you'll learn of his involvement through other witnesses in this case. The house that Cash built, literally and proverbially, it was built on exploitation, built on girls who were vulnerable. During the course of this trial, you will hear evidence about a criminal enterprise. Now that's a legal term. Don't get confused about that. Like I said, it's just a group of people committing crimes for profit. They organize themselves and they work together to do it. This organization works in the shadows, but it also works in plain sight. They built it by exploiting others, exploiting young women, fueled by deception and coercion, especially young women. Driven by profit and greed. Orchestrated by each of them. It was a criminal conspiracy that preyed on vulnerable young women for the purpose of making money. This case is about manipulation. It's about control, mental manipulation. It's about isolation. This case is also about violence. Now, you've heard at the beginning of the trial all these different counts. You've heard racketeering, you've heard RICO. RICO is just a pattern that we're going to show that they use to do these criminal acts. Several criminal acts they use to advance
just a pattern.
the organization to make money. The evidence will show that they operated in a group. You will hear about trafficking a person for sexual service. You'll hear about pimping, pandering, tampering with evidence, obstruction. All of these criminal acts operating in concert to show that they operated together. That's all RICO is. You will hear from survivors, women who were groomed, women who were isolated and sold. You will see records and messages, financial transactions, witness testimony, victim testimony, all calculated and designed to profit off of human suffering. You will also hear from expert witnesses in this case. Specifically, you will hear from an expert witness whose name is Mary Beth Nelson. She is a witness of human trafficking, and she will give you education and provide the dynamics of sex trafficking and debunk the big myths about trafficking. She'll debunk the myth about sex trafficking being the proverbial white van that runs around and snatches women and children off the street and sells them into sex slavery. She'll talk about it being up close and personal and intimate. She'll explain to you the nomenclature or the verbiage used in commercial sex so you'll understand when the evidence comes out what is being said and what it means. You'll hear from DNA experts, and it's up to you to judge the credibility and the believability of all the witnesses, to include DNA experts, and they will provide their findings. So, who are we really talking about here? This case centers around victims, and you heard many names at the beginning of the initial questioning when you all were sitting in the general audience. You will learn about Jasmine Brown. You will learn that she's from Delaware and was a ward of the state, meaning she didn't have connected family. You will learn that her first play was a violent rape set up by her trafficker, John Michael HAKEEM GIBSON. You will learn that she ended up getting out of that situation by some brave law enforcement folks who stepped in and saw her and helped her get out. And it was from her disclosure that all of it broke open and we were able to find other survivors and victims to bring these defendants to justice. You will learn about Jordan Adams, who was also a vulnerable young woman who had gotten kicked out of her home and was on the streets of Atlanta. She ran into Tyrone Taylor, also known as Lucy, who promised her a safe place to lay her head that night at a hotel on Fulton Boulevard. Unbeknownst to her, she's raped and she is sodomized. You will learn that Mr. Taylor, defendant Taylor, he invited Cash Out over to have fun with her as well, and she was victimized all night long. You will learn she was also then put out on the street to go and sell herself. You will learn about Jessica McQuarrie, who is from Indiana, and she was involved with Cash Out during the early years. Dominique Lewis-House, you'll learn about her. Talicia Dubin, Frederica Spencer, Talithia Wright, Chantori Tolbert, Diamond Irving. You will learn that while each of them found themselves in this heinous situation, The one common thread is that while they suffered, they survived. They were robbed of their dignity and cloaked in shame. We will show that the defendants in this case used threats of harm, physical harm, psychological abuse, financial control, and drugs to trap their victims. And we will demonstrate that this organized group had a command structure, specific roles, specific rules, but the product in this case was human beings. Human beings used over and over and over again. You will learn how Cash Out and his mother, Mama Cash Out, and the cousin Lucy, because it's all in the family, and how they work together in order to obtain this goal. This goal was to make money, motivated by money. The enterprise, it used tactics designed to recruit women, designed to control women, designed to exploit young women. Some of these women were often desperate. For the purpose of commercial sex, this is what they were obtained for. They lured them through a pattern of systematic plans. All of this, again, to gain money. The victims were groomed, isolated from their families, and coerced. And the people sitting behind this operation, they knew exactly what they were doing. The house that they built, the foundation is greed. The backs of the young women that made the money for them, they had no control of the money they made. Some of them subject to sexual violence, some of them subject to physical violence, all of them subject to psychological violence. Now, there's something important you will hear in this court. Two of the codefendants, individuals who were once part of this very enterprise, will take the stand and they will testify for the prosecution. They will tell you what they saw, they will tell you what they did, and they will tell you what these defendants did. The witnesses were not promised anything in return, no deals, no promises, no favors. They are coming forward because the truth matters. And because they know what happened, they know it must be brought to the light. Their testimony will be of Kiera Adams. You will learn that she's been involved with Cash Out from even early on, since about 2014 to about 2022. Intimately involved with the inner workings and dealings of this organized way of committing crimes. She will describe to you in detail all that she did, her part in it, and all that they did, and their part in it. You will also hear from Deanna Sanders. She was in a relationship with Cash Out. And you will learn that all of these girls believed that they were in a relationship with Cash Out. All of them learned and felt as though he loved them, or they were his girlfriend, or they were his wife, or soon-to-be wife. All of that. And Deanna Sanders will talk to you about her physical abuse at the hands of these women. You will have corroboration. You will have testimony, will be supported by a mountain of evidence, text messages, financial records, witness accounts, victim testimony, all of it pointing to the same conclusion. The defendants worked together, exploiting human lives for profit. Now, the court already instructed the burden is on us, it's on the state. The defendants have no burden whatsoever. They don't have to put up a scintilla of evidence at all. But I want to inform you to be mindful of the distractions, to not go down the rabbit holes. The evidence will be the evidence. I ask you to take notes, copious notes. We'll be here for a while. So you
Copious
may not remember
notes.
from the first day to the last day. This evidence will be disturbing. I will admit the details will be hard to listen to and difficult, but they are necessary. Because at the end of this trial, the only conclusion the evidence will support is that the defendants ran a criminal enterprise that trafficked human beings. Defendants Taylor and defendants GIBSON even sodomized and raped one of the victims. And this pattern of criminal behavior must be brought to light. and the defendants must be held accountable. You will learn that there is nothing that is concealed that will not be disclosed or hidden, and that all will be made known. What has been done and said in the dark will be heard in the daylight, and what has been whispered in the ear in the inner rooms will be proclaimed from this witness stand. I will come back to you at the end of this case, and we will talk about all the evidence you heard, and we will review all the applicable law. And I will come back and ask you to find all of the defendants guilty. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Mr. Matthews on behalf.
Yeah. So I was just scrolling because a lot of, like, what does this say on the screen? I see state's motion to grant material witness use and derivative use immunity, Deanna Sanders. State's motion to grant material witness use and derivative use immunity, Kiera Adams. Is this like old? Last refreshed? Case filed? Because as far as I know, the re-indictment that they're using is from 2023, so I think I'm in the right place. I can't open the documents, but I don't know, maybe it was denied. Maybe it was denied.